link you the stream. Okay, sweet. So you're actually tagged in it, but I'll throw it on Discord too.
Let's go. I found it.
Great.
Let's go. Here we are. I'm going to send it over to Discord as well.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds great.
Will be.
Yeah. Okay. So while we're setting up, guys, welcome to Gamespace. This is your weekly destination where Web3 gaming world comes alive. Each week, we bring together the brightest minds, builders, and innovative creators from the blockchain gaming sector. We explore the latest trends, share cutting-edge ideas, and connect with a vibrant community dedicated to redefining the future of gaming. Join us every week at Gamespace and be at the forefront of the gaming revolution. And today, I am very excited because we have the team from dverso here. I will let them describe dverso as a platform and kind of what they're trying to achieve. But personally, I've been really excited about what they're building out. I haven't really seen a web-based social platform, 3D social platform that's blockchain enabled like this in a long time, not only from the visual quality, but also from the rapid advancements that they're putting out every week. They integrated physics recently. They're updating their vehicle system. You can obviously see through the stream here that we're actually live streaming in world, and I've got the facial capture happening. So a lot of really amazing technologies and rapid advancements that the team's putting out. But yes, really excited today. So I guess, starting out, before we dive into dverso, Bosk Naive, would love for you to introduce yourselves and give us a bit of background about, where you've come from in relation to gaming, Web3, and development.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you, Mike, for having us. It's a pleasure to be here, and hello to everyone that is watching right now. My name is Bosk, and I'm a multidisciplinary designer, and this is Naive, my best friend and partner. Actually, it's just the two of us actively working on dverso as a platform. And yeah, so it's a pleasure to be here. Naive, introduce yourself. I think that we have not tested if actually we can hear Naive. I think his mic is disabled.
I can hear you, I believe.
I cannot hear him. I think that you need to activate your microphone on SteamYard, Naive.
Okay. Now I.
Oh, okay, perfect. Now we can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Naive, the developer of dverso and friend with Bogdan, best friend with Bogdan. And hi. I don't know,
Yeah, so I am the designer, and he is the developer, basically, and we are the team behind dverso. And
amazing. Yep. Amazing. So, I mean, in terms of your background as it pertains to, gaming, why don't we start off with gaming or, 3D as a whole? What's kind of been your inspiration to date, and what have you been doing? Obviously, dverso is very it's a stunning web-based platform. It's obviously got a strong aesthetic to it. So I'm kind of curious about the 3D aspect of your backgrounds and how that plays into what you're building at dverso.
Sure. So, well, regarding gaming, I'm a huge nerd. I think that I have like more than 200 games on Steam, and like I've played games since I was a little kid. I'm 28 years old now, but I remember that like even in Poland, when I had like 4 years, 5 years, like my father and his friends played like Age of Empires 1 and the first Counter-Strike, and we played a lot of StarCraft, Warcraft, and a lot of games really. And it's a passion that, like I still have and I still cultivate all the time. And my background in 3D is, well, I started as a street photographer, and then I became like a 3D artist and brand designer. And for a while, actually, like I had a podcast. Oops, I disappeared because yeah, I had a podcast with this kind of 3D character.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm a designer, so basically that's my background. I like boobies and like strange stuff. So that's pretty much
Amazing.
all.
Fair enough. And Naive, what about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a self-taught developer. Like when I was 15, 14, I started coding. Like I started with Game Maker. I don't know if you know it. Like the Game Maker Studio. I started with
Okay.
that. Then I got into web design, into web development, and nothing. I ended school and started working in a local company. Then I continued studying all by myself, and that's it. Then I moved to Milan. I met Bogdan, and we started Diverso together.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really long story, actually.
Yeah, it's a really long story, but yeah, that's like the super abrupt. I moved to Milan because Bogdan created a community, like a Discord community, and we met there. And yeah, we had this idea, this magic idea, during a party. Like Bogdan organized the party, and
Okay.
we had that idea, like let people create words and stuff, and yeah, and then
Dverso happened. So why don't you tell us a bit about what Dverso is and what you are trying to build with Dverso?
Bogdan, do you want to, or?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, it's never easy to explain what you're doing, right? But Dverso is a web-based metaverse in which we are right now, and we set up to do different multiple things, really. But at the core, it's a web-based platform in which people can create their own worlds and like play in them together. So that's what Dverso is.
Okay, for sure. And I mean, obviously you guys are in open beta at the moment. What, as far as what you are trying to achieve through this open beta, what's kind of the goal at the moment with the platform and what you're developing towards?
Right. So right now, we just kind of finished working on like our editing tools and world building tools. And like everyone can actually create their own maps and worlds really easily inside of Dverso directly in browser without going through any other software. And it's all multiplayer, real time, as you can see. Like,
oh wow,
even now, like I can put objects and you'll be able to see them. And you can also edit like with multiple people online at the same time. So we just
so multiple world owners can edit an environment in real time live.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, cool. Together, which is like, I mean, it's kind of cool. So we kind of focused on that in the last 5-6 months, and now we are actually our roadmap is more focused on integrating community features.
Okay.
And like creating features for people to, once they created their own world, giving more things to do inside of them.
Got it. Okay, for sure. And obviously, there are a lot of different web-based virtual worlds. We'll get into that in a bit. But what makes dverso different from your perspective, or what are you trying to do differently in comparison to other virtual worlds out there?
Yeah, I can I can put some points on that. Like, for sure, like the thing that dverso, it's super easy to use. What you moved, like?
Yeah, no, sorry about that. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, dverso, it's super easy to use. Like, you can hop and create your map in very like few minutes, and it's free. It's super social. You can be with friends, you can build with friends, you can chat with friends, you can talk and stream your face with friends. So we are super focused on that, and like the main thing is still like being easy to use, and we want it to be easier to use, and as the time passes, like always.
Yeah, that's right. Like in
Yeah.
the short term, we really want to build a tool for communities, and in the long term, we actually want. I know it's a little bit ambitious, but we want to create a new way of experiencing browsers, right?
Yeah.
Like we decided to be on browser, which makes dverso really accessible without going through like for example Unity or other engines, mainly because we believe in the power of browsers, and we know that it has some limitations, but I think it has also a lot of really good opportunities.
Right, and I think just visually, you're playing into those opportunities. You're taking the low poly cell shader type style, and playing into those limitations.
Yeah,
really good.
we embrace them. Like we embrace the limitations.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So I see over in the corner you've got the dverso droids. I'm wondering if you can kind of explain a bit about what the droid avatar collection is, and how that kind of integrates in the larger dverso ecosystem.
Sure. So the droids is our NFT collection, and basically, maybe if I show it, it's going to be a little bit easier to explain. But basically, it's
so we're in world here, or maybe just two abstractions, but yeah.
Yeah,
we have the
exactly.
streaming behind, so I'm going to use that. Yeah, basically, you can create your own droids. You can, like it's basically a system that supports different clothes and backpacks and shoes. So it's basically a way of making, like avatars more customizable as times goes by, let's say,
Okay.
right? And you can mint droids inside the wardrobe here by clicking here. And well, each droid gives you also access to more maps and more like bigger maps and more editors and a little bit of goodies here and there.
Okay, so with the, when you go and you mint a droid, do you have the ability to customize it?
Well, actually, it works as you mint a droid, you unlock new features from the droids you possess, and you
Okay.
can use those features to create your own as well.
Okay.
And then you have different collections that basically we launched for free of clothes, shoes, and backpacks and more.
Amazing. I did not realize that. So that's something I learned right off the bat. But yeah, great. And I can actually see now that I can go in and change it. And okay, cool. So with your avatar system, it seems as though you've kind of adopted the VRM standard and are using that for the avatar system. Can you kind of explain maybe why you went that path, and I guess what your experience has been with that?
Well, yeah, sure, absolutely. um, so the thing is that VRMs are like a really known standard, right? It's been used in different parts of the web for a long time, and as you said, like we are really into also this anime manga aesthetics. So it was practically, like our first choice to create something that is like really easily implementable inside the Verso as a platform.
Okay, and I mean, obviously, I have a custom VRM. I don't have a Droid like you guys, but you allow it to be pretty seamless to upload your own VRM. I don't know
Yeah,
what the best way to do this is, but yeah, a user can just go in and click tab and upload their own VRM. But I also see that you've recently integrated with Vibe, which is virtual persona. I'm sure a lot of people listening in on the call are very familiar with Vibe and Vibe avatars. So what has that kind of unlocked for you?
yeah. I like on that. I think like we think that VRMs are a beautiful way to express yourself. Like you can you can really be yourself, because if you have your avatar and you can use it that easily, it's easier to you to feel yourself and be with friends and have fun and that kind of stuff. And yeah, Vibe, it's awesome on that point, because like they have a lot of avatars, a lot of beautiful avatars, everything on chain. So like people can have their NFTs, they can connect the wallet to dverso, and dverso will extract automatically your Vibe, or like your VRM avatar, and it will let you use it inside of dverso. So yeah, that's like everything that helps dverso achieve that, the ease of use. Like be yourself, build whatever you want, and like have fun.
Yeah,
So also to
sorry, go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, with the VRMs as well, and this kind of moves on to my next point. I mentioned before that you recently integrated the web-based motion capture for the face, and I think the beauty of the VRM format is that it allows you to easily tie in that technology to be able to use these VRMs for things like VTubing in world, like we're doing now. So, I mean, what do you see as the benefit of that, or I guess why was that important for you to implement? Because I'm sure it would have been a little bit of a technical hurdle to get over.
Yeah, like as boss showed before, like we have a little bit of experience. We have experience with like facial tracking, because he made like a few years ago a podcast like on Twitch, I think. And yeah, he made a podcast with a VTuber in made in Unreal, so we had that experience, and yeah, it was awesome. So now I feel like the technology allows us to use that technology in the browser. Like the time has come to use it inside the browser. It was like not that problematic integration, and yeah, it's awesome to have avatar, like an avatar system that ties that well in with facial tracking, and also ties with like all the animation that they are already in. So yeah, that was like a smooth thing to like it had so much value to be able to do that kind of things inside a platform like Diverso.
And is that something that I guess you foresee yourselves building around? Obviously, you're working on community engagement tools, and I'm sure whole huge pipeline of stuff. But is the VTubing or motion capture features something that you're looking to flesh out as like a primary use case for dverso?
That's a good question. I mean, we don't know yet, because like for sure it's a really good tool. I kind of love just like moving around and like showing different people, and being it multiplayer. It's kind of unique, right? If there is like we often go based on feedback, right? So if there is enough feedback from people that like this kind of feature, for sure we can work on implementing more and more like VTubing features in the upcoming future.
So I mean, you talk about feedback, and you mentioned that you kind of really focus on building out community and community tools. I guess how do you see community playing a role in the dverso ecosystem? Is it how do you firstly primarily communicate with the community? How do you gather that feedback? And I guess, as far as community participation goes, how do you see the value in that?
So the thing is that actually, probably I have not explained myself very well, because right now we are trying to, like, in our roadmap for the next 5 to 6 months, our goal is to create tools for communities, not just our own, but for any community really, right? So for example, for Open MetaDAO as well could have their own world, their own community. And what we are working on right now is basically like also kind of gamification systems. So during the open alpha, we had a level system and a progression system that was dverso wide, right? Because there wasn't any tools to build worlds for the users. Now that there are, we are kind of rethinking that progression system and a level up system, but we want to make it for each available to each community, right? So for example, Open MetaDAO creates their own world inside dverso, and people are going to level up and gain experience and play games inside that particular world, right? It's a way of engaging people, but we want to give it as a tool for communities to create their own value, right?
Right. No, that makes sense. And I mean, just, on the note of your community, and the droids and being, part of your Discord server, which everyone should join, because it's a very easy way to see all the latest developments. But how do you, in terms of the dverso community, what are you trying to build internally as that community? What would you like people to be participating in, or how would you want to be leveraging or working with the community to help better build out the product?
Yeah, well, probably getting a community manager would be a good first step. The thing is, like, it's just the two of us, right? And it's a lot of work. I mean, we love our community. We love the people that have been supporting us since the beginning. We know that we could do much better in a lot of things, in a lot of ways. And I mean, like, recently we have been so focused on building out the tools, and maybe not so much to reaching out, like other players in the, in the space, in the Web3 space, and also in our community as well, which is kind of our fault. And
I wouldn't say fault. I think you've got probably a lot to juggle at the moment, so probably just more.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
It's hard, but like, for like, it's actually like, we value feedbacks and like support requests and people that comes in, like, try dverso, use dverso, and tell us, oh man, these tires are kind of too sleek, so maybe like there are a lot of discussion about things to adjust and how to adjust things. Like we had in the alpha, like the JRPG. We had the JRPG game inside dverso, and like a lot of feedbacks came by, like, oh, we should adjust that scaling of that weapon and stuff. So yeah, we value feedbacks from the community, and that there's feedbacks from the community. So a lot of things in dverso are like inherently shaped by feedbacks from the community. Like we don't go like trains all the way. We like adjust things, and if something is too like it's not that good, we like the community always, like the people that participate in the dverso building always are eager to say, hey guys, this thing is kind of broken, or this thing should be done that way, and we discuss it. And so yeah, it's like when we can when we can do it, because we are only two and dverso is a huge project. Like it feels like it's not, but it's a kind of big code base. It's a lot of things to pay attention for. So like yeah, we do that double work of being on Discord and being on dverso and being on Google Cloud and being there and Blender and stuff. So yeah, but we try to listen to the people.
And you're doing a great job. So I mean, why don't we move on to, you were mentioning the tools that you're building out. I'd love to kind of see if we can, maybe Bosk, you can show on your screen what like the world building toolkit looks like. I don't know if we can do it in here or if we should go somewhere else. But
sure, absolutely. Everything is so seamless. Yeah, so, well, going through edit modes to play mode is just like as easy as clicking on the top right corner on this play button, right? Play or edit button. And once you go to edit mode, if you have access in that particular world to the editing, this kind of, UI pops in which you have all the tools that you could wish for for building a 3D world, right? So like, if any of you used 3D tools, you're probably familiar with like the move tools, the rotate, the scale, the properties of the objects. And we also have an asset library. We have more than 260 assets that we upload ourselves that are free to use for people. And the objects vary from like animals to houses to furniture, etc., etc. We also recently, thanks to Vibe, implemented the Vibe Kit, which are another 165 free tools for people to use that are very, very cool. And it's as simple just as like you go in the asset tray, you drag and drop the asset on the map.
Amazing.
And that's pretty much all, which is kind of crazy. But we also allow people to upload their own creations, their own GLBs. Okay. So anybody that has like, maybe they're a 3D designer or wall builder or game designer, they can upload their 3D assets through a GLB format, and it will work in dverso. We also optimize them, create loads. The only limit is like it has to be maximum 32 megabytes in size.
Okay. Yeah.
And we have other cool features as well. I mean, like, as you can see, we have the streaming feature. We can embed like YouTube videos, screencasting, whiteboards, Twitter, and also websites.
Great. And I mean, I see NFTs there. And one thing I actually tested yesterday just to see if it would work was being able to pull in NFTs with GLBs associated with them. So from a long time ago, I had like all this furniture airdropped to me, and I was able to just select one of those NFTs and it automatically pulled through the asset correlated with it, which was really nice to see. And I think, especially, on the open meta perspective, we're building that in mind, where, your NFTs, whatever they are, whether they're VRMs, whether it's music, whether it's, in-game objects, weapons, digital fashion, it's something that, you can leverage the metadata of the NFT to be able to bring that through in world. And I see that we have a couple of guests, which is awesome. Please feel free to join us. And, maybe this would be a good point to maybe do some world hopping and pivot over to the main hub and check out, some things like physics and, the whiteboard and things like that. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So we have different kind of things. What do you want to go first through? We have a racing game.
I think let's start with the hub and then we'll kind of end with racing, just so that we can show all the different things on display there.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So all you need to do, if you're wanting to join us, just go to dverso.io and it should automatically load to the hub. Is that correct?
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Okay. All right.
Yo.
Okay. Sweet. So, yeah. I don't know where you want to start because there's a lot, obviously, things here. But I'm assuming this is a web view app whiteboard.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Like the audio was chopped.
The whiteboard here, is this something that's a web view or
Yes.
like a okay.
Yeah. It's a web view of a whiteboard, because we use the same system to embed YouTube and stuff, and we offer like a preset for a whiteboard, but it's just it's a preset that you can use.
Okay,
gotcha. Your whiteboard, whatever you want.
Okay.
As long as the headers of the website allows it, you can do it.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I don't know everything that you have here, but do you want to maybe talk about physics over at the soccer stadium?
Yeah, we can go play ball.
Yeah.
Where is the ball?
Over in the corner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have not seen it.
So I mean, obviously, well, I don't know. Was putting physics in world a lift for you guys, or why was that important to integrate?
Yeah, like physics are one thing that make you feel the world really alive. Like seeing a ball that you can push and you can play together with other people. It's really something that puts a lot of I don't know how to say it. It's a poetic thing, I think. So for developers maybe, but it's an enrichment for the world, the entire system. That ball is actually synchronized with clients, and other balls are not. We have a way to synchronize balls, so to synchronize physics objects. So if you want objects to be like a soccer ball and stuff, you can synchronize them. Otherwise, you may not.
Okay.
Do whatever. I use some parkour stuff with levers and stuff. So yeah, you can fiddle with it.
Great. Okay, and I guess in terms of what else we have in this world, anything else worth showing off while we're here?
We have the streaming that we've already seen. In case there are some events or we want to see something together. For example, we watched the Elden Ring DLC trailer.
That's funny.
As a community here, because we were really excited about it, and we have iframes. it means that if websites allow it, you can directly interact with websites inside the 3D environment, which is pretty cool.
100%, and may as well shout out, that you can go mint your droid right here if you just want to head to dverso.io. So take advantage of that opportunity while stock is still available. But yeah, I mean, I think even just the concept of watch parties, and I know Sinks was joining us just before has done a lot of watch parties, and I think it's really kind of I'll just stay still. A very valuable, I guess, social interaction point to have, because it's something that's very lightweight, and it is. Oh, there we go. Something that's very lightweight, but has a lot of value to people. People can come together to, share a common interest, and even just by watching stuff is a really great opportunity for other communities to take advantage of a platform like dverso.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Of course. And yeah, you've got a pretty big emote library here. That's worth showing off. I'm just wondering else what. Yeah, maybe we can hop into some other worlds as well, and just show off, some of the cool stuff that you guys as well as other creators have made.
Sure, we can make a race, for example.
Okay.
We recently released the race we made with the VibeKit assets. Okay. And you actually are second in this map.
Oh wow! I still, I know I can do better than that. So that's good.
I tried. I'm tryharding it. Like,
that's funny.
I would like to be faster.
So vehicles. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that was to implement, and I guess if you faced any challenges with that.
Oh. I think we crashed.
Yeah, so we are using physics from Ammo. If you know it, I don't know. Like, it's a
library.
It's library, like for JavaScript. Like, it's ported from Ballet, so it's almost C++ like APIs. And yeah, we did it in Ammo because for us, it's performant. I talked with other developers and they said it's not performant for them. I don't know. Like, maybe we need to discover some more performant libraries. But yeah, we worked with Ammo because I really like it. And yeah, vehicles were kind of we did it in few times, but we needed to reiterate on them like few times because yeah, it's hard to get a good feeling. But
right,
I think we almost did it.
Yeah, I think it's good, and definitely after a couple of attempts, you really start getting the hang of it. Yeah, and I mean, this is obviously a really somewhat relatively simple mechanism for communities to interact with the dverso platform. Different communities can host different events, not just watch parties, but obviously gamified experiences. Racing is like a very, relatively simple thing to implement, and is a good way to get people together.
Also, races, like you can put leaderboards for your race, and it's super easy to set up a time attack with the checkpoint system we have. And yeah, I think it's also placing cars. Like if you have a car model and you are not like a 3D artist or stuff, you can just put the model and it will work. It will not have the wheels, but if you hop on Blender and name the stuff with the correct name, you can have the wheel spin, the wheel spin. I'm sorry, the wheel spin and like the smoke from the wheels and all the stuff. So yeah,
and that's relatively easy for people to implement.
Yeah. It's absolutely easily. It's absolutely easy. I'm sorry. I'm having some problem. Like, yeah, it's easy to do them because just like you upload the car and then you double click, you right click on the car and then click on vehicle and it's a vehicle.
Okay, gotcha.
Upload and tag as vehicle.
And I see right now on the screen we've got an AI NPC, and I'm gonna have to get out so I can see this too because I haven't yet. How do I get out of the car? E?
With escape.
Okay, got it. There we go. Okay, so I mean, may as well show off this feature while we're here. But so people and world owners can implement NPCs. They can, I'm assuming, have static messages. But you've also got an example here with an AI NPC. So people could theoretically come through and set up their own AI NPC. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Naib was saying, implementing vehicles is really easy. Like you could make anything a vehicle, really, like a banana or a box or whatever. Like if you don't really care about the wheels turning left and right, it's just as easy as clicking right with the right click on the object in the assets tray and then just like adding vehicle tag.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
And
And
it
so
becomes a vehicle.
you can assign all of those different parameters to any object that you upload.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And we also have the documentation on docs.dverso.io. And for like a little bit more advanced way of importing vehicles, we explain it step by step on how to make the wheels work and the properties that you can set. And the same goes for the AI, actually. All you have to do is place the 3D object on the map, go to add script and just edit the script inside the creator. You choose the first message, the scenario, and the personality of the character. And it's basically going to go to work out of the box.
Amazing. That's great.
Yeah. We have some tools like for super no-code scripting, like you can make dialogues, links, open portals, open pop-ups and stuff. And yeah, we are planning to for the future a more professional way to do things like with node-based. IT is a bit to MetaMic, but yeah, in the future we will have a more like not refined, but like more core way, like a more powerful way to create behaviors and stuff right inside of dverso, just by using nodes. And yeah.
Yeah, so in the future, we are for sure going to implement a node editor, which will allow for, like a little bit more complex scenarios and event systems. And well, in a faraway future, obviously, maybe we are going to be able to find a secure way to also like allow people to code and to implement their code as plugins.
Okay. Amazing. That's great to hear, and I'm sure a lot of people tuning in would have interest in that. We haven't really talked about accessibility all that much outside of the start, but you're building this in a very optimized way for web. Can you tell us a little bit? Obviously, you can't really show it, but about how this works on mobile. And as well as why don't we start with mobile, and I guess the your position on it there. And I mean, honestly, the camera setup is so great for virtual productions. So, I just need to angle myself a bit better. There we go.
Yeah, so we are trying to target also mobile. We are trying to make the UI accessible. It's not that easy. Like it's kind of a challenge to make it work also on mobile. Wait, let me enable the microphone. Okay, can you see my?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying, like, yeah, we are trying to target mobile as best as we can. Like, we try to squeeze every performance, like every cycle as we can. Like, we implemented the culling in the best way we could. We try to load everything. We have an automatic load system for you. So if you upload very precise model, like with a lot of triangles, it will optimize automatically and will create automatically the levels of details so that we can serve weaker devices better.
Okay.
We try to have an automatic presets for video performances. So if you are from mobile, we set you for with like a kinder video preset for your mobile not to die. Yeah, because like WebGL on mobile is not that performant, and we hope it will get better with the time. Also, there's Web GPU coming, like it's already there, but it's still a bit of road to run. Like,
Yeah, it's still a bit rough around the edges, maybe.
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things we try to do, like for mobile, as we said. But yeah, like we try to be as inclusive as possible.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge, but yeah, that's one point that we want to do. Like we want to be able to use dverso on mobiles.
Yeah, so right now it works on mobile. Some features are still missing because of technical limitations. But like 90% of the things that are in dverso are also actually available on mobile. And obviously it's a different kind of experience because like even the physical interface is much different, right? You have a touch screen on a small device instead of mouse and keyboard, but for sure it's visitable and usable.
Yeah, and I mean, it leads me to obviously the hot topic at the moment, which is spatial computing. Still not quite ready to use that term, so there's a bit of hesitancy there. But in terms of this being web and having the potential to utilize WebXR, how are you currently thinking about I guess a virtual reality experience for dverso?
Yeah, so virtual reality is really cool. Well, we love VR, and actually we have an experimental build in which people can access dverso in VR. But as for now, they are limited to just like moving around and looking around and moving around, basically. Because the thing is that WebXR is really cool. The difficulty for us is though that the user interface is not like translatable in any way. Like it's really hard to port over user interface to WebXR. Also, it's a matter of resources. So we really would need to take a couple of months of time to make a stable port, I think. Naive, what do you think about it?
Yeah, please, people, enable DOM overlay for WebXR. Yeah, like there's a proposal for the DOM overlay. I don't know how like it's going, but yeah, as Bosk said, we have like the 3D thing is there. Like we miss the UI, and yeah, it's a lot of work. We should do a lot of work.
We'll for sure do it in the future if everything goes well. And first of all, though, now what we want to focus on is like making dverso a platform that is worthwhile to stay in, right? So, for example, right now we're working on the chat system. So for like permanent messages, that we think that is going to be, because right now, as you enter dverso, you cannot see messages that have been sent before. So we are reworking that system, the user interface for the chat. and next are going to be the progression system for the users and for the communities. So I think that we are still like, we have a really nice metaverse,
Yeah.
but we're still missing a lot of features that are needed, in our opinion, to make it, worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it's a great experience. What you've built as two independent developers is, really quite fantastic. And I think a lot of people within the communities that work in this space, or pay attention to development, give you a lot of credit as well. So congrats on everything that you've done thus far. I guess, from more of an economic standpoint, or I guess, how you continue to grow and get resources and, build this out even further. How do you foresee yourself interacting with other communities to, to take advantage of the platform and, I guess, help you grow? Are you planning on kind of building out that, pipeline of support via just word of mouth and usage of the platforms, or are you going to be expanding the NFT collection to help, or lean into the NFT collection to help you build out those resources? I guess, yeah. How are you thinking about, I guess, more of the economic side of things as you continue to grow?
Yeah, so as for now, that's also like when we were talking about the community aspect, like our community aspect is that at the beginning we were more like dverso-centered, and we were focused more on our experiences. And now what we're trying to do is creating a tool, right, which is like much different approach. And because obviously like NFTs and community events and et cetera, are a great way of building engagement, but we kind of decided to go another way, which is like allowing people and communities to create their own events, right? And like use their own NFTs, or not necessarily even NFTs, right? Like their own assets, 3D assets, and not 3D assets, like any kind of assets, really. So we are going more into that way, and how we are going to try and to appeal to those communities. Well, for example, right now we don't have like moderation tools, right? Which means it's really hard for us to push it as a tool for now. But in the 6 months that we have planned on the roadmap, well, the roles and moderation tools are coming like in 2 weeks. Okay. So we are kind of trying to implement more and more features that allow people to, like to really kind of manage a community inside the dverso. Also, what we are thinking is, for us, it would be really cool, like you have an NFT that is a furniture, is a chair, is something, to use it inside the dverso. It's already like that, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, and I believe that like Web3 communities maybe are what we really want to start speaking with.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, great. I mean, look, we've had a good old run around it in a lot of different worlds. But is there anything, I guess, that you wanted to talk about or show off before we head out?
I don't know. Naive.
Okay.
I mean, guys, come to dverso, check it out. It's free. You can build a map. You can create your own worlds. Your 3D assets are more than welcome. And
honestly,
join us on Discord.
It's a great way to do, the virtual production content. The
virtual production is actually crazy, and it's something that we want to go back to. Like sooner or later. But like different shortcuts for different cameras. That's crazy. Yeah,
That's
in the
crazy.
future, for sure, we will go back to that.
Crazy.
And can you add in like I guess real time lighting and I mean I guess the collaborative building tools allow you to really take that virtual production step up a notch too. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Because someone could be moving the light and stuff and the camera. So
Yeah.
that's doable.
Yeah, it's also hard because like how do we want to market, right, with all these different tools, which niche we want to target, which is kind of effed up, but we will find a way. And like our goal, first of all, is to make a product that we want to use. And the closer we get to that, like things we believe will go will come. And
100%. I mean, I think 3D as a whole is getting a lot of traction in the Web3 space. That's what we're building around over Meta. But I think, as the market is heating up as it is, we'll really kind of see a lot more collections. I think, honestly, Nifty Island has been a huge proponent and catalyst of people thinking about 3D and thinking about what can be done with 3D and virtual worlds. And I think, as the ecosystem grows of different platforms with the Web3 community leveraging different 3D assets, I think it will just kind of have a snowball effect into what we see in the adoption of these platforms. So anyway, well, thank you again. Really, great to walk through all these different worlds. I really love doing the virtual production stuff because it's something that you don't really see a lot of, and you obviously have the right tools for it. So, join us again on Gamespace next week. But dverso team, Bosk, Naive, fantastic speaking with you, and really appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot for having us, and let's chat soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you all. Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
See you, man. Bye-bye.